Ever wondered why some people are terrified of things you find completely normal? Well, welcome to the perplexing world of phobias. These are not just ordinary fears. They're irrational, intense, and can significantly disrupt a person's everyday life. From the seemingly mundane to the utterly bizarre, phobias are as diverse as they are intriguing, and while some are common, others are less known but equally fascinating. Now, brace yourself as we plunge into the depths of the human mind. Let's dive into the world of phobias and explore some of the least common ones. Imagine the sight of falling snow sends chills down your spine, and not because it's cold. This is the reality for people with kyanophobia, a genuine fear of snow. It's not just about disliking the cold. It's an intense, often paralyzing fear. The origin of this phobia is typically traced back to traumatic experiences involving snow, such as accidents or severe frostbite. Next up, a fear that would make Halloween a nightmare for those who suffer from it. For some, Halloween isn't about fun and candy, but sheer terror. This fear, known as samhainophobia, can be triggered by various aspects of the holiday, such as costumes, decorations, or even the supernatural themes associated with it. It can cause anxiety, panic attacks, and in severe cases, complete avoidance of any Halloween-related activities. The root cause can often be traced back to a traumatic experience, or an intense fear of the unknown. From a fear of a holiday to a fear of a celestial body, let's move on. Ever thought the moon could be a source of fear? Well, think again. Welcome to the world of selenophobia, an intense, irrational fear of the moon. It's not just about werewolves or moonlit horror tales. It's a genuine condition that can cause anxiety, panic attacks, and even nightmares. Various factors can trigger this, including past traumatic experiences or the eerie quiet of moonlit nights. Selenophobia can seriously affect a person's daily life, especially when the moon is full. Now let's get down to earth with our next phobia. What if we told you some people are terrified of being without their phones? Yes, you heard it right. It's a real fear called nomophobia. No mobile phone phobia. Imagine feeling a cold wave of panic washing over you every time you realize you've left your phone at home. It's hard to believe, isn't it? But in our hyper-connected world, for some, the mere thought of being cut off from that instant access to information and communication can trigger serious anxiety. What causes this? Well, our reliance on smartphones has grown exponentially. We use them for everything from staying connected with loved ones to navigating unfamiliar places, even for something as simple as checking the time. Losing that access feels like losing an essential part of ourselves. The impacts? Increased stress, anxiety, and in extreme cases, panic attacks. It's a modern fear, no doubt, but it's as real as any other. From a modern fear to a more primal one, let's move on. Snakes. They either fascinate or terrify, and for ophidiophobics, it's definitely the latter. This fear, known as ophidiophobia, is one of the most common phobias worldwide. It's an intense, irrational fear of snakes, whether they're slithering in the wild, coiled in a terrarium, or even just pictured in a book. The root cause of this fear is often a traumatic encounter with a snake in the past. However, it can also stem from cultural or religious beliefs, or even just from the way snakes are often portrayed as sinister, dangerous creatures in the media. The impact of ophidiophobia can be quite severe. It can limit a person's lifestyle choices, causing them to avoid places where snakes might be present, like zoos or parks. Some can even experience panic attacks just thinking about snakes. But remember, phobias are treatable. With the right therapy and support, it's entirely possible to overcome this fear. Next, we have a phobia that makes social gatherings a source of terror. Imagine feeling an overwhelming fear every time you step into a crowded space. Welcome to the world of agoraphobia, a phobia that's far more than just a dislike for crowded places. It's a fear that makes the vast expanse of open spaces equally terrifying. Agoraphobia is often born from a sense of feeling trapped and helpless. You see, the mind creates an association with these places and the feeling of being unable to escape. This could be triggered by a previous traumatic event or anxiety disorder, and it manifests as an intense fear or anxiety. The impact? It's not just about avoiding concerts or parks. It can be so severe that people may feel scared to leave their homes, affecting their day-to-day life significantly. But remember, it's not a life sentence. With cognitive behavioral therapy and exposure therapy, people with agoraphobia can gradually reclaim their freedom. Our next phobia is one that can turn even the bravest into a quivering mess. What if just the thought of heights sends you into a panic? This is the reality for those grappling with acrophobia, a widespread fear that can be debilitating for some. Imagine standing on a balcony, peering over the edge, and your heart starts racing, your palms get sweaty, and your legs turn to jelly. That's acrophobia. It's not just about tall buildings or mountains. Even climbing a ladder or standing on a chair can be terrifying for someone with this fear. The causes of acrophobia can be varied, from a traumatic fall in childhood to an innate survival instinct that's a little too overprotective. The impact of this fear can be quite limiting, restricting individuals from enjoying simple pleasures like a Ferris wheel ride or even a scenic overlook. But as with any fear, understanding it is the first step towards overcoming it. So remember, if you're dealing with acrophobia, you're not alone. From heights to small spaces, let's explore our next phobia. For some, small spaces aren't just uncomfortable, they're terrifying. Let's delve into the world of claustrophobia, the fear of small spaces. This is more than just a dislike for tight spots. It's an intense fear that can cause panic and anxiety. What causes claustrophobia? Well, there's no single answer. Some theories suggest it could be a learned response from a traumatic event, like being trapped in a small space as a child. Others believe it may be linked to our survival instincts, as enclosed spaces can pose a threat in the wild. Regardless of its cause, the impacts of claustrophobia are very real. It can limit a person's activities and lifestyle, causing them to avoid elevators, crowded rooms, and even certain types of clothing. In severe cases, claustrophobia can lead to panic attacks, characterized by rapid heartbeat, shortness of breath, and a strong desire to escape. Finally, let's talk about the most common phobia of all: spiders. They're small, they're quiet, and they're the source of the most common phobia. Arachnophobia, the fear of spiders, is a condition that affects millions around the globe. It's a primal fear, one that's been ingrained in our collective psyche for thousands of years. Spiders are often associated with danger, thanks to their venom and their tendency to lurk unseen in dark corners. This fear can be so intense, it causes physical reactions like sweating, trembling, and a racing heartbeat. But what causes arachnophobia? It could be a learned behavior, perhaps from watching a parent or sibling react fearfully to spiders. Or it might be evolutionary, a survival instinct passed down from our ancestors who lived in environments where venomous spiders were a genuine threat. The impact of arachnophobia can range from mild discomfort to severe anxiety, affecting daily life and mental health. But remember, like all fears, it can be overcome with the right help and support. Phobias can be strange, fascinating, and terrifying all at the same time. So there you have it, a countdown of some of the most intriguing phobias. From the fear of the seemingly innocuous snow, known as chionophobia, to the terror of Halloween, or samhainophobia. We've journeyed through the cosmos, exploring selenophobia, the fear of the moon, and delved into our pockets to confront nomophobia, the fear of being without mobile phone access. We've slithered around ophidiophobia, the fear of snakes, and faced the vastness of open spaces and crowds with agoraphobia. We've climbed to dizzying heights with acrophobia and stepped into tight corners with claustrophobia. And of course, we've come face to face with our eight-legged nightmares with arachnophobia. These phobias, as diverse as they are, remind us of the vast spectrum of human fear and the impact they can have on our lives. Remember, everyone has fears, but it's how we deal with them that defines us. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more interesting content. Hope you enjoyed our countdown of phobias. If you've made it this far, why not give us a thumbs up? It's a small action that goes a long way in supporting our content. Don't forget to hit the share button and spread the knowledge with your friends. And if you haven't already, click on that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't want to miss out on our upcoming explorations into the human mind. Stay curious, stay brave, and we'll see you in our next video.